Now, let me tell you something about derivatives, because I got a lot of flack about derivatives in the 90s and the 2000s because I worked in derivatives. I started trading fixed income derivatives. Then I worked onto treasury derivatives. When I was in London, I did credit derivatives. That's what I did here for most of my career, 11 years. We made a boatload of money. I even did indexes on credit derivatives, which is a derivative of a derivative. We can get into that too. There is nothing wrong with derivatives. They get thrown down they get sold down the river when financial crashes happen. Financial crashes don't happen because of derivatives. Forwards and futures contracts have existed for hundreds of years, if not thousands. What happens is when people risk manage poorly, that's when things go wrong. And it's going to continue to happen over and over again. And so again, don't be scared of the derivative itself. Understand the derivative, understand your risk profile, and you're always going to work from there. And let me give you a few examples of derivatives you might not even think about. A dinner reservation is a derivative. So back when I was in the city in London, I used to take my clients out to the best restaurants in London. One of the favorites they wanted to go to was they always wanted to go to Nobu. Okay, Nobu was the famous Japanese place. Nobu Barclay was the happening one where all the guys wanted to go. So they, Brian, I want to go to Nobu on Saturday. Can you get me there? I'd be like, I don't even think I can get a reservation for that. You kidding me? There's like a book for a month. And they'd be like, all right, fine, I'll go with someone else. I'll do my business somewhere else. So I would always make sure I had reservations at these restaurants. Now, a reservation is a call option to go to a nice place for dinner, which means if I have that reservation, if I choose to exercise it and show up, I've got a beautiful dinner at a happening spot. Sure, I pay for dinner, but I can actually get in. Now, if we decide to go somewhere else, my call option on the dinner just expires, worthless, because I never actually showed up for dinner. Now, you might say, but Brian, reservations are free. You know, a lot of these restaurants in London started getting aware that there was a value in just having the reservation, and they started charging. So I'd have to pay £100, £500 just to get the reservation because they knew I might walk away and it had a real value to it. So again, derivatives are all around us. We just don't see them as derivatives sometimes. So again, a dinner reservation is a call option to go there and exercise the right to pay for a meal. And again, they have real value, but we never think of it this way. Here's another derivative you might not have thought of. Now, I don't know if you have kids. I have young kids. They're going to be old soon. And there's always a derivative instrument between parents and children that's not spoken of. And here's what it is. When my children get to be 30 years old and say they go out and things go all wrong in their life and they're broke and they're going to go move out on the streets, they can always call up mom and dad and say, can I move home? All right. This is what I call being short a put option. All right. So the kids all have the put option and they know if push comes to shove, they can always go home and live with mom. Now, I personally don't want my kids to come back and move with me. It's a horrible thing. It's going to take up space. It's going to probably mess their lives up even more. But the truth is I'm short a put option to my kids because they know at any time they can call me up and exercise that option to move back in. And guess what happens? They only exercise it when things have gone wrong. So these are just examples off the top of my head. There's optionality in all of our lives. We are constantly buying and selling options, but we don't always price them. We don't always charge for them, but they are very real. And it's important to understand that derivatives are all around us, and in themselves, they're not bad. We just need to understand the risk and manage the risk.